Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Hey, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. It is Whip Wednesday, so tell me all about your whip that you have going on, whether it's crochet, cleaning house, working in your yard, your garden, diamond painting, whatever your whip is, whatever your currently productive project you have going on. Tell us about it. I actually am not working on a whip today. I am struggling with health issues, and so my whip is just trying to get through the day, okay? If I get through the day, I have accomplished a lot. I had a scope last week, and they were not able to change out my G-tube to a GJ tube, and I woke up from that procedure with a drainage bag hooked to my feeding tube, and so I am supposed to be draining my stomach continuously, except for when I get meds or formula. I close it, take the bag off, get those meds and formula or whatever, and then just let it set for a couple hours and then hook back up to the draining bag. And that's what I've done since then. And then I have to empty the draining bag periodically, you know. Well, over the weekend, it was draining, and then all of a sudden it was not. It decided to stop draining. And we have been fighting with it, trying to get it to drain, pushing fluids through it, pulling, but it won't let you pull fluids through it. It's just crazy. We can push fluids in my stomach to the point of my stomach is in literal pain from being so full, but we cannot pull those fluids back out. And I know that sounds like, oh, just go to the ER. My ER does not deal with feeding tubes a lot, and so they're not... I don't think they would know what to do. They would wait until the surgery team is there, and that would be a long wait for them to try to fit me in to come down to the ER to see. And I'm just trying to figure it out on my own to avoid going to the ER when the ER is expensive. You know, just running to the ER sounds simple enough until you got to pay that bill. And so it's not so simple, and you're like, oh, why did I do that? I can't pay that. So anyway, I'm just trying to figure it out myself, and we have just been pushing and pulling fluids, and it won't let us pull, but it'll let us push all the fluids we want. I put a note into my GI doctor, which is 2.5 hours away, and so I'll probably hear back from her soonish. I don't know what her schedule is for when she's in the office. It's not every day. She just has a few days that she's in the office, and so I'm sure she'll check that eventually and get back with me. But in the meantime, I'm working on this tube. Me and Paige worked on it all morning. This is the second day that we have worked on it, trying to get it to start draining. For some reason it's not. I might just go stand in the shower and take the whole tube out, wash the gross end of it, and put it back in and see if that does anything. There's a balloon inside my stomach that holds the tube inside my stomach, so we can pull the water out of that balloon, take the tube out, rinse it off, wash it, see what's going on the other end of the tube where the balloon is. Something's got to be there preventing drainage, but it's not preventing pushing fluid. I don't know. We don't know. We're just trying to figure it out. It's been a headache and a half. I'm tired of this. And so it wasn't draining, and I'm just carrying around this empty bag for no reason except to hinder everything else I'm trying to do. So I said, well, let me just unhook from the drainage bag, because at least I'm not having to carry that around and deal with that. because that's a pain in the rear, I'm gonna tell you. And so I unhooked from that, but then my stomach was hurting so bad, and it's just full. It's over full, and it's bloated. It probably has a lot of air in there, and I was just like, I gotta hook back up to that drain bag. I mean, I need some relief from this. So I'm hooked back up to the drain bag now, but nothing's happening. I'm still in miserable pain. My stomach, my whole abdomen is just hard as a rock. It is hard. And so I'm dealing with that instead of crocheting. I would much rather be crocheting and creating some cute little plushie amigurumis, but I just can't concentrate to do that. It's just a lot. I can't get my mind off of the pain in my stomach and how uncomfortable it is and the bloating and all that to crochet. So Sassy is trying to stay close by and keep me company, and Sissy was just right up here, but I don't know where she went. She just slipped away. When I've been in my chair and I was holding my phone, this is my phone case, because my phone is actually right here in a holder, and I have to take it out of this case for it to fit in that holder to record. But I've been in my chair and I was on my phone, and Sassy was like, okay, enough is enough, woman. And she comes and gets on my chest right here between me and the phone, and she's like, pay attention to me, not the phone. So I just have to lay my phone down and pet her and give her all the lovin's. Huh, Sassy? She's done that to me a couple of times last night. She's like, But I did get on the Gastroparesis Facebook group and asked for advice. And I don't know what I did. Somebody replied to me and so asked me questions. So I replied back to them to kind of give them, you know, answers to like what I'm doing and why I'm doing things and see what they suggest. And now I must have hit something wrong, because now it doesn't even give me an option to comment or to reply to that person. And so I don't know. I guess I'll have to go make a new post. I don't know. I'm not technical social media type. I don't know. I did something wrong. It's obviously I did something wrong, and now I can't figure out how to communicate with the person that was even going to try to give me some advice, hopefully. I'm going on there on my computer right now just to see if it will let me comment or reply. Sassy, watch out. Or reply to, nope, I cannot reply to her, and it does not give me a place to even comment. Let me see if I can even edit my comment before. I don't think so. Nope. That's aggravating. So aggravating. I was hoping somebody there could just, you know, say, try this, try that. I've even tried laying down in the bed, and I always lay on my left side. That's my only option, is to lay on my left side. I can't lay on my right side because I have a Medtronic pain pump on my right side. So my only option is my left side, and that's the side I am supposed to lay on. But I don't know, it's just aggravating not being able to figure out what to do, and then to work on this tube as much as, man, Paige has worked on it, and we've got it taped up real good so it doesn't come open. I'm just gonna, I can't even show you that. Let me see. We got it taped all up so it doesn't come undone and soak the bed or chair or anything like that. I would just be devastated. But it's not draining anyway, so I don't guess it's gonna soak anything if it's not draining. But that's what we're dealing with. It's just aggravating. Y'all, just say a prayer that we figure this out. We figure this out, you know? I definitely feel like I need a new tube, but she didn't put a new tube in because she's going to do that at the GI doctor, because she's going to do that at a later time after my insides have healed. The purpose of all the draining is to let my stomach heal. My esophagus and stomach needs to heal, and intestines. And so, yeah. When she went to do the scope, she couldn't even get the scope through me. She had to use a neonatal scope. And so, it needs to do a lot of healing in there. Now, she did call me yesterday morning, Monday morning, and scheduled my next procedure, my scope, for August the 18th, and to see how much I have healed on the inside. And so I really need this draining so I can be healing, because if I'm not doing anything to help the healing, what's the point of getting the scope? And, you know, so she's going to check on the 18th to see how the healing is coming along with my esophagus and stomach and intestines, and what she can do from there. You know, first off, it needs healing. Second of all, then she'll, you know, the plan is to eventually do the GJ tube and let that set for a while, and then eventually do the J tube on its own. So then I would have this G tube up here in my stomach, but I would have another one of these tubes down lower in my intestines, like in the duodenum. And so that's the plan for the future. We're trying to build up to that part. But right now, I need my stomach to drain so I can heal. And so it does sound like I may end up in the ER. I'm just trying to make sure I have done everything in my power, you know, to figure it out first, because one, going to the ER is expensive. Two, my ER really, I don't think they deal with a lot of feeding tubes. They're not going to know what to do, and they're going to say, we have to wait till someone with the surgery team comes, which could be a day. You could wait in the ER a whole day before the surgery team can come see you. So that's a long, long time to wait, right? Yes. Yes, it is. And so, yeah, it's a very long time to wait around trying to wait for them to, you know, have time to come and see you. But in the meantime, I don't know what to do. They'd want to do a CAT scan to make sure it's in the right place, which it is. I already know it is. It was draining just fine, but for some reason it stopped. It didn't go anywhere. It's still right there. All I can think of is to get in the shower, take the tube out. It's going to be really, really gross on the other side. Super gross. Don't worry, I won't share that. And spray that off, wash that as best it can, see what's going on the other side. It does have water in the balloon, because we did check that, and it's not, the balloon's good, I do believe. We was able to draw water out of the balloon and put water back into the balloon. So it's something on the outside of the balloon or inside the beginning of the tube where the balloon is inside my stomach. I know that probably don't make a lot of sense if you don't understand, but see, there's a hole in my stomach. This tube goes into my stomach like that. This is inside my stomach, and this is the tube outside my stomach. On this tube, on this shaft here, is some plastic, and there's a little thing up here that comes off to the side, and you put water in that, and there's a balloon here that just swells up. I can put like 10 cc's of water right here, and that will just swell up, and that balloon is up against my abdomen wall, and so it doesn't let this pull out. But I can take that water out of the balloon, and this will shrink down, and then I can pull that out. But that's going to be all super, super nasty, gross as can be. Wash it off, put it under the sink, wash it off some, make sure the balloon fills, fill up the balloon, look inside it down here and see what's going on, if there's anything in there, and then put it back in. That's all I know to do. That's my last resort. So that's probably what I'm going to try here in just a little bit when I get a shower. At this point, we're able to hook up a syringe right here and push fluids through. Like I said, we can fill up my stomach until it is very, very painful. But put the syringe here and try to draw back the fluids that we just put in. They won't come out. So that's what I'm looking at. And so I know on the Gastroparesis Facebook group, I know there's lots of people on there that's probably dealt with this before. So I'm trying to get some advice from them, what to do, what might remedy this. And so some people have said to put Coca-Cola in the tube, but I don't know. I mean, I can put a whole 2-liter Coke bottle in there. I can fill that up, a whole 2-liter Coke bottle, but it's pulling it out is the problem. So I don't know. I think if there's a clog and you can't push fluid in, they're saying to put Coke in it, Coca-Cola, and let that set in the tube and help break up any clogs. But obviously, I can put a whole 2-liter Coke bottle in. There's not a clog that way, but for some reason, coming out, there's a clog. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to chat with you guys and let you know what's going on with me. And, you know, I did mention that I was super stressed this week about something else going on in our life. That has calmed down some. I'm trying not to be as stressed about it. Things are looking better in that situation. And just time will tell. And so over the next 3 or 4 weeks, things may be changing, and I know I'm being very vague about that on purpose because I have to be, but I'll fill you guys in later in a month. I can tell you guys what was going on and what, you know, but I don't know who all watches my YouTube channel. And some things just don't need to be shared until after it happens. After things have happened. And so, yeah, it's just a lot going on there. And, yeah. Just pray that that situation works itself out, and that when something does happen in a couple of weeks, that there's no aftermath and things go smoothly and it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. It's what we need. So I appreciate your prayers and just your concern, you know, and your love and support. I appreciate that so very much. And if you don't mind, please pray we figure this tube out. Oh, gosh. Yes, please pray we figure this tube out. I've got it stretched out like, so there's no kinks or curls anywhere. I'll take this, I'll stretch out that bag. I'm just going to do it this way so you can see. I'll stretch out that bag on the floor, like way out from me. And this tube is stretched out, and I have it down low and tilted. And I mean, I'm doing all kinds of things with my belly, pushing the tube in and out from my belly because that bumper, that balloon is on the inside. On the outside, I have this rubber disc that's a bumper. I can pull that bumper out away from my belly. And so I can push this tube like in and out like that. So that balloon is normally right here up against my abdomen wall, but I can like push this tube in so the balloon is like way up here. And so I'm just doing all kinds of stuff like that and tilting this around and trying to get it in a position that it could flow a little easier if it wanted to, and it's just not working, and it's aggravating, to say the least. It's very, very aggravating. So yeah, probably figure that out. Ugh. And anyway, so I'm not crocheting because I'm just too frustrated, and like I said, I'm very, very uncomfortable. My stomach is just so bloated with the fluid and air and everything else we put in there. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I don't know. But say a prayer, we figured that out. And like I said, you know, what I was saying, that's what I was saying. I'm not crocheting right now because I just can't concentrate to crochet. I can't concentrate on a pattern and pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm just like, all I can do is just sit and pet Sassy and Sissy and Phoebe. They all kind of take turns, like, okay, it's my turn. They give each other a turn. And then Sassy, sometimes she's like, okay, their turn's over, it's my turn again. She's my baby. She's my baby girl. And she just loves to be petted. Oh, yeah. She's like, pet this side. You skip the side. I went in there to fix some, Big Daddy, I didn't tell you this. He just walked in here. I went in there to fix me some caramel apple cider, that caramel apple drink. And so I didn't turn the light on because I had my cup, and I just went and I put my K-cup in the thing and put my cup down there and I mashed the button. I'm just standing there for a minute because it ain't gonna take very long. And right by our coffee machine is sitting right here on a counter, and over here is a set of drawers, and our Wi-Fi thing is up here, and there's a box, and then there's some yarn, and then a cat bed down here on this end where the cats like to lay and look outside. So anyway, I'm just sitting there doing that, and all of a sudden, right here's the coffee machine. Right here, something just moves, and it's dark because I didn't turn the light on, but it's not pitch black dark. It's just dark. Something just moved right here. It scared the world out of me. I mean, I like to have killed myself trying to figure out what that was. Our little Wi-Fi bar is right here, and it's about this long, that tall, and it's real thin.
It's the router.
It's the router thing. It sits right here. Well, Sassy, she was hugged up to that thing to her stomach, and I was like, when I finally figured out it was Sassy laying there, I was like, what are you doing? Because she's almost fallen off that set of drawers. She was actually turned around this way. Her head was over here and her butt was on this side. And she's like, say this is the edge of the drawer. She's like way off, about to fall off of those drawers. And I'm like, why are you laying like that? And then I put my hand over there. That thing is super warm. And she was hugged up to it and had that pulled up to her stomach. And was just laying there. That's the first time I ever saw her do that. And I had no idea she was laying there. And I'm just fixing my drink. And then she turned, like I said, she was laying like this. And what she did was she turned that way to look to see what I was doing. And I wasn't looking at her. I'm looking at my cup thing right here. It scared me to death. I like to have just fell over backwards trying to figure out what just happened.
Booger Bear done got you.
It did. I thought it had got me because it scared me to death. She was just hugged up to that, keeping her belly warm. I don't know. It's the first time I ever saw her do that.
She was cold.
I guess. We have been keeping the airs running constantly because it has been hot. It has been hot. So we just been running some air, and I've been staying in the living room a lot, and there's no AC, window AC in there. So we have to rely on the parlor to push air in there, and the kitchen to push air in there if we turn the kitchen one on, and the one in the den to push air in there. So anyway, yeah, I'm just running my mouth. I just want to get things figured out and get my stomach comfortable and get back to crocheting and enjoying life and being productive and all that. I have talked to both our boys a lot this week. Over the weekend, talked to Dakota several times and Elijah, and Monday talked to both of them several times, and today I talked to Dakota. I haven't talked to Elijah yet. He's he's still at work right now and hadn't got off work, so he may call me on his way to work. But anyway, I've talked back and forth with them several times, and I always love that when I get to talk to them. And because of, some things going on, they're concerned for me and Big Daddy, and they're calling and checking on us frequently, and I appreciate that from them. It's nothing they can do for us except the emotional support, which is huge. I appreciate that. And I did send them both a text and said, thank you so much for the emotional support this week. It means a lot. Yeah, there's nothing they can do physically or whatever, it's just emotional. And sometimes having your kids there for emotional support is wonderful. Huh, Sassy? You trying to be there for emotional support too? I don't know. Alright guys, I'm gonna let you all get going, and I'm gonna go talk with Big Daddy and see if he wants me to get in the shower, and let's pull this plug. I may end up in the ER whether I want to go or not once we pull that out, and if they don't go back in right, we may end up in the ER regardless. But I'm trying to avoid going to the ER because it would be like a 1 to 2 day ordeal thing right there. And Big Daddy don't need to miss any work. He needs to be able to go to work, and yeah, Dakota's got work. He can't miss work. Elijah's not here. He lives in Arkansas, and pretty much I pay Paige for 2 hours a day, and that's all I can afford to pay her is for 2 hours a day. So it's not like I could pay her to go sit down there with me for 2 days. But we'll figure it out. And I'm just asking you all for the emotional support and love and the prayers and the thoughts and the good vibes. Send it all. Send it all. No, I do believe in the power of prayer. So if you are a praying person, I do appreciate that. But I appreciate your love and thoughts and support in any kind of way. So I will see you all again, friends. In the next video, I shall be there. Bye, guys.